My name is Dr. Marie Fuchs, and together with Dr. Stephanie Schwarzer, we are the project coordinators of NIDIT. And the program for today is we want to present you our 5 tasks of the project, and that will be presented by the teams of the individual universities. And we're going to start now with some welcoming speeches. So Professor Verena Dolle, she is the Vice President of Learning and Teaching of the Justus-Liebig-University in Giessen, and she will give us some words, and after that Professor Malte Schwinger will give his welcoming speech, and he's the head of educational physiology at the Philipps University of Marburg. So I want to hand over now officially to Verena Dolle.
Thank you very much, Marie Fuchs. I think you can hear me, you can see me. Okay, Technic is working now, I'm happy. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, I'm very pleased to welcome you all very warmly to this online launch event, and I apologize for the technical inconvenience we had. It seems as if we have challenges all the time and changing challenges, but we managed it, and thank you very much for your cooperation and for your support in this situation. I would like to particularly welcome our partners in this project from the University of Applied Sciences in Central Hesse, Professor Dr. Silke Bock and her team, and from the Philipps University Marburg, Professor Dr. Malte Schwinger and his team. I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to the JLU unit, the designated Vice President for Teaching and Studies, Professor Dr. Katharina Lorenz, as well as Steffi Schwarzer, Marie Fuchs, Mareike Büst as representatives for a team just completed recently and ready for takeoff. And of course, a heartfelt welcome to all the researchers, colleagues and members of our universities who are happily, fortunately, with us today. As Vice President for Teaching and Studies and on behalf of the President of JLU, I am very pleased to speak the opening words for our joint project NIDIT, the Network for Impactful Digital International Teaching Skills. We want to invite you to be part of our future teaching experience and to become part of our network. As we carry the adjective international already in the project's title and strive for enhancing our networks in academic teaching at national and international level, this event will be held in German and English. NIDIT is a joint project of the 3 universities in Central Hesse with the Justus-Liebig-University Giessen as the lead, the Philipps University Marburg and the University of Applied Sciences of Central Hesse, and is funded by the Stiftung Innovation in der Hochschullehre for the period 2021 till 24 with about 3.8 million euros. And this online launch event shows that we are ready to start. Let me say a few words on the making of NIDIT. The starting points for preparing an application when the call was published by the Stiftung last year about this time were the following. First, the well-established and reliable network of these 3 partners mentioned above, who have been successfully cooperating in the HDM, Hochschuldidaktisches Netzwerk Mittelhessen, Central Hesse Network for Teaching in Higher Education. Second, the emergency remote teaching experience of the last 20 months, when we, all universities, not only in Central Hesse and in Germany, but worldwide, had to face the challenge to switch in a couple of weeks from traditional presential teaching offline, familiar for centuries, to 100% online teaching in every discipline. And even if now and then things did not run quite smoothly, we can proudly say that we have accepted this challenge and have managed to keep the university's studies and exams running. Dear participants, let me wish you all a pleasant, happy hour. Enjoy this online launch event. Dear NIDIT project team and university staff, thank you very much so far for all the work you have made, for your engagement, and I wish you all the best and a lot of success in the next years. And now I'd like to hand over to my dear colleague Malte Schwinger for his welcome words. Thank you very much and enjoy this hour. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dolle, and welcome to the online launch of NIDIT, also from me. I welcome you today on behalf of the entire Marburg NIDIT project team, and it's great to have you all here. Like many universities around the world, Philips University also has been involved in projects on innovative teaching learning concepts for some years now. The Marburg Skills Project is an example for it. This is also a project which is funded by the Foundation for Innovation in Higher Education, like NIDIT. And the Philips University has also been associated with a high commitment in the area of digital learning. In this context, Philips University is involved, for example, in the Hessian collaborative project, Digitally Supported Teaching and Learning, but also in the Hessian Center for Artificial Intelligence, which aims to develop visions for the so-called third wave of AI. And within the framework of these projects, as well as other projects, a trustful cooperation between three NIDIT partners, the THM, the University of Marburg, and the JLU, has been developed over the years, and this is to be built upon in the NIDIT project. In addition, as Ms. Dolle has said, there's been an existing cooperation for many years in the Hochschuldidaktisches Netzwerk, Mittelhessen, which primarily aims at the academic personal development of young academics. And as had been said before, the basic goals of NIDIT are to provide digital innovation in university teaching for the next years. And in the next hour, we will hear many interesting things about this in the different packages. Philips University is pleased to be part of this project as it supports change, and it focuses not only on creative ideas, but also on actual innovation in the sense of concrete action, and even more on testing these innovations for their impact and effect. The cooperation between universities and the associated pooling of different competencies and experiences represent a promising prerequisite for improving the quality of university teaching in the long term with regard to international and digital aspects. Together with you, I'm now looking forward to exciting insights into the vision and concept of NIDIT. Once again, welcome and have fun.
Thank you so much, Malte Schwinger and Verena Dolle, for the kind and introductory words. We now want to move on to the project content, so to our 5 tasks. They will now be presented by the respective teams. And I want to hand over to Viola Schrader. She's one of the instructional designer of the Justus-Liebig-University of Giessen. So Viola Schrader, please.
Yes, my name is Viola Schrader and I'm responsible for instructional design. So what can you expect from digital teaching literacy? Basically, we want to prepare lecturers for digitally supported teaching. We want to achieve this by providing specialized trainings. The goal is to prepare lecturers for a study landscape that is increasingly based on digitally supported teaching and the changes in the requirements for knowledge transfer. The NIDIT project wants to create a competence network at Justus-Liebig-University Giessen, Philips University Marburg und Technische Hochschule Mittelhessen that bundles and further develops the experiences from emergency remote teaching and creates sustainable structures for the results. We focus strongly on innovative teaching concepts. Our target group is international, virtual international teaching. Based on this, we further develop the qualification measures of the universities, complement them and make them accessible to all network partners. As a foundation for this, we use the results from our Learning Lab and our innovation projects. In addition to proven training and networking formats, like online provision of lecture videos or suitable online feedback forms, we also include innovative approaches such as augmented and virtual reality or gamification. All structures are intended to establish additional individual support services, such as individual case consultations, e-learning consultation hours, and digital work shadowing. Students will be directly involved in further development. Existing formats will be opened up to the whole network and further developed. As a part of the quality analysis and project evaluation, we established a position for coaching and supervision of lecturers, which will support all universities in the network. And now I would like to hand over to my colleague Albrecht Metzler from University Marburg. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Viola Schrader. Hier etwas detaillierter nun auf der linken Seite die möglichen Formate für Netzwerktreffen, Beratung und Wissenstransfer und auf der rechten Seite eine Zusammenstellung von Future Skills Themen im Zertifikats- und Fortbildungsprogramm der Hochschuldidaktik Mittelhessen. Here on the left, in more detail now, possible formats for networking meetings, support, counseling and knowledge transfer, and on the right, a compilation of Future Skills course topics in the Certificate and Further Education Program of Higher Education Didactics Central Hesse. Unsere digitalen Lehrkompetenzen stärken wir durch Austausch und Wissenstransfer im Verbund unserer Hochschulen. In verschiedenen Veranstaltungsformaten wie Tagen der digitalen Lehre, Barcamps, in Kurzformaten wie dem Speed Dating, Lunchbreak Sessions, Coffee Lectures oder anderen Workshops. Nutzen Sie die individuellen Support- und Beratungsmöglichkeiten, auch in kleinen Gruppen. Und lassen Sie auch einmal andere Lehrende über Ihre Schulter schauen, zum Beispiel während einer Hospitation Ihrer Lehrveranstaltung. We strengthen our digital teaching competences through exchange and knowledge transfer in the network of our universities in various events here listed. Take advantage of the individual support and counseling opportunities also offered for small groups. And let another lecturer look over your shoulder, for example, while observing your course, if you'd like to. So the digital is already part of our everyday life and certainly also part of our future. Digital teaching skills, here on the right, are now increasingly being included in the range of courses and the certificate offered at the HDM. There will be special courses on digital identity and career planning, communication and cooperation, and on producing content and presenting in the digital space. This concerns us all and will advance us and our digital teaching literacy. Das Digitale als Querschnittsthema ist bereits Teil unseres Alltags und sicher auch unserer Zukunft. Im hochschuldidaktischen Kurs- und Zertifikatsangebot des HDM halten nun verstärkt die Digital Teaching Skills Einzug. Rund um digitale Identität und Karriereplanung, digitale Kommunikation und Kooperation und das Produzieren und Präsentieren im digitalen Raum. Und darum wird es spezielle Kursangebote geben, die uns alle angehen und uns und unsere digitalen Lehrkompetenzen weiterbringen. Vielen Dank. And now to the next task.
My name is Inês Gamelas, and together with my colleague Richard Vargas, we are going to present you briefly the NIDIT package of measures for international teaching training, as we can see here. As we can see here, this package is managed by the Justus-Liebig-University Giessen, and its focus is to provide several offers of advanced training focused on digital and international teaching. And to whom is this advanced training addressed? To the lecturers of the university's network, that is, as we have already heard, the lecturers of the Justus-Liebig-University Giessen, the University Marburg, and the University of Applied Sciences in Central Hessen. As well as, of course, to the lecturers from the external universities. And now, yes, we can see here, I can explain you a little bit further and guide you through our main objectives. One of our main goals is to open teaching sessions and events to all interested lecturers. In doing so, we aim both at promoting international exchange among the lecturers of the participating universities in digital platforms, as well as, of course, to develop international teaching and discussions so that different teaching and learning practices can be reflected and brought together. So, as you can see, interchange is here a focal point. Furthermore, NIDIT's goals are also focused on supporting digital teaching and gathering experience from internal and external partner universities, as well as, of course, to develop the qualification of student assistants and integrate them in the processes of digital and international teaching. All in all, we can say NIDIT's international teaching training aims at contributing to a better preparation of students in the global and heterogeneous professional world, especially by developing the lecturers' teaching skills in international contexts. And now my colleague Richard is going to explain us how we plan to achieve these goals. Please, Richard, the digital floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ines. Please give me a hand if you can listen to me. Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you very
okay.
much. Okay, in order to achieve the main goals already introduced by Ines, I'd like to highlight the following actions that NIDIT integrates. First, we conceive diverse high-level training formats, including different, for example, roundtables, colloquia, to provide teaching tips, open different opportunities for discussions, and reviews to account for and develop teaching concepts and methodologies. Secondly, we attempt to broaden training sessions by incorporating the expertise of qualified and experienced mentors to provide support, guidance, and reinforcement in teaching. Thirdly, we initiate digital projects of direct dialogue among lecturers from our university network and external university. We also take advantage of current international partnership to create and consolidate a higher and efficient cooperation involving different academic actors, such as students, teaching staff, and researchers, as well as international offices. Finally, we try to enhance internationalization and in its virtual program by fostering exchange among lecturers and students through mobility programs with a virtual and global scope. Please, if you are interested in this part of the project, would you like to know more about it, please contact us. Yeah, I'll write our emails in the chat and you can just contact us. Thank you very much, and I think that we can go to the next slide.
Okay, thank you. And we can go on with the impact analysis. The core element of NIDIT is that we seek to provide a systematic, in-depth, multi-perspective and long-term quantitative and qualitative impact analysis. Based on theory and on prior evidence from other projects, we would at first define our quality standards for the digital courses and workshops, which we have to be developed. During the project, we would provide data on the feasibility and impact of the newly developed courses. That is, we would gain some kind of ongoing empirical evidence, what works and what works less. And to the end of the project, we will hopefully have some kind of accumulated evidence, which allows us to provide and to select suitable courses for each individual lecturer, thereby promoting individual development of digital teaching skills. That is, overall, we seek to support and ensure high quality, innovative, digital and international university teaching. And how do we achieve these goals? by, at first, continuous evaluation of all project outcomes, by using a back translation paradigm. That is, we also try to implement feedback from practical experiences into developing the new theoretical concepts, and by overall using an in-depth longitudinal theory-based assessment design using both quantitative and qualitative data. To get a better impression for you as a lecturer, what would be the different steps involved in impact analysis? Imagine, for example, you have the problem that your students do not engage very much in your digital courses. I think this is a common problem we have also experienced for us, that students hide somewhat behind their black screens and are not so involved as in regular classes. So how to solve this problem? You can decide to attend a digital workshop offered by us. Next slide. How would that work? At first, we would test your knowledge of digital learning scenarios and how to implement them in your courses. You would get feedback on that. Then you would get an offered suitable future skills workshop tailored to your knowledge. You would attend this and evaluate it on your own. And again, we would test your then hopefully increased knowledge. Then you would be able to develop new solutions for your course. For example, you may use private VR experience rooms, as it can be realized with Mozilla Hubs, for example, which may increase the digital engagement of your students. This course would be evaluated by your students. Next. Yeah, would be evaluated by your students and on your own. And these evaluation results would be used, can be used to adjust your course and to adjust the Future Skills Workshop offers. Next slide.
Yes, thank you. So I continue with another part, and I may also welcome you all from the Technical University of Mittelhessen, where I have the great honor to be working and to be active with a large team in order to enhance teaching and learning competencies at our university. So we will specialize on looking into the effects of individual participation in the digital courses and workshops on the whole. And this requires, from our experience, we would say, adequate and different formats of evaluation in terms of qualitative analysis of the teaching and learning experience of our participants, especially with regard to the development of their teaching practice in the classroom. So Malte, you were just referring to knowledge to before and after the courses. And we look on the long-term effects that we can possibly find out about when looking into what teachers are doing finally in the session with their students in terms of interaction. So we don't only need adequate forms of evaluation, which goes far beyond what we mainly do just now, which is looking into questionnaires that we normally have instantly following the teaching and learning offers that we have. Now we want to look into new and adapted approaches also to analyze individual development with a long-term perspective on teaching and practice. So we are interested to find out more about the individual development of skills. And this we find there is great opportunities to do this by applying research methods like biography or ethnography. There are many others in the qualitative research field, and to our experience, there can be much more that we can do about this to find out more about individual development. So this is what we're looking into. Then what we find important is that we need also new forms of collaboration and joint reflection, both with the teaching of the teaching practice or the teaching staff of the universities. The course participants are there, the individuals to discuss with. But at the same time, also the program development units, like us as the persons offering the programs, we need to reflect as well, and that is necessary to do it jointly with our partners, with the participants. So we need to find out more about long-term effects of our offers to the teaching staff and to their individual development possibilities. And we have quite good experience at the Technical University of Mittelhessen applying the concept of action research, which we use quite frequently to initiate and to carry out joint reflection processes and to develop new learning offers for students, but also within our programs, we aim to do that more intensively. And we sort of continuously rely on the concept of the reflective practitioner, which some of you might be familiar with. So that is our guidance line, if you like. And it goes, from our opinion, beyond quantitative questions or questionnaires that are very often used to find out more or to get feedback from continuous education and training. Here we have more joint reflection processes as it's described in this graphic. We jointly look into the action, like the teaching and learning going on in the classroom. We jointly have questions that we are asking on the teaching and learning processes, like it's the didactics, teaching and learning experts jointly with the teaching staff. So we look into finally about the details we want to find out to have indicators about good teaching and learning going on in the classroom. So we have to discuss on that depending on the learning group, depending on the topics we look at, depending on the formats that are taught. So all these different facts are part of our research going on. And then jointly we interpret and evaluate the results so that we can discuss about consequences, new ideas about action that follows with the next teaching and learning process. So this continuous development in a joint discussion going on and relying on scientific methods in this aspect and doing a specialized analysis in this field, that is what we aim at, and we are looking forward to doing that jointly with you all together. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Ramin Sigmund from Philipps University of Marburg, and I'm with my colleague Mareike Büst from Justus-Liebig-University in Giessen. First, we will introduce the task 4 in German, and then we present a summary in English. Ja, Virtual Reality, Augmented Reality, 360 Grad, Medien, hybride Lehre, Gamification und vieles mehr finden mehr und mehr Einzug in die Hochschullehre. Und in den letzten Jahren haben viele Lehrende an unseren Verbundshochschulen und darüber hinaus gezeigt, dass das Experimentieren und auch das Entwickeln von Lehrszenarien mit solchen innovativen Technologien und Formaten die Hochschullehre bereichert. Gleichzeitig kann der erste Einstieg oder auch die Überführung auf eigene Lehrkontexte schwierig und unzugänglich wirken. Und genau hier setzen die Labs for Innovative Teaching des NIDIT-Projekts an. Möchten Sie wissen, was es mit Virtual Reality, Augmented Reality, 360-Grad-Medien, hybrider Lehre und anderen richtungsweisenden Technologien und Lehrformaten auf sich hat? Verstehen, inwiefern diese Technologien die Hochschullehre bereichern können? Möchten Sie Best-Practice-Beispiele kennenlernen, Impulse für die eigene Lehrpraxis erhalten? Die Möglichkeiten und Grenzen virtueller Lehr-Lernsettings analysieren können und sie im kollegialen Austausch auch diskutieren? Und möchten Sie lernen, eigene virtuelle oder hybride Lehr-Lernkonzepte umzusetzen? Wenn Sie mindestens eine dieser Fragen mit Ja beantwortet haben, dann sind Sie bei uns genau richtig. Nächste Folie bitte. Unser Ziel ist es, Lehrenden in der Entwicklung von virtuellen Lehrszenarien zu unterstützen. Viele von Ihnen konnten in den letzten Jahren viele Erfahrungen sammeln, wie eine digitale, hybride und/oder virtuelle Lehre heutzutage aussehen kann und was es braucht, um hier erfolgreich zu sein. Die Labs for Innovative Teaching möchten hieran anknüpfen und dabei sowohl Einsteigerinnen als auch erfahrenen Lehrenden ein Unterstützungsangebot liefern. Die Labs verstehen sich dabei als standortübergreifende Lernwerkstätten, in denen Sie neben Wissens- und Fertigkeitserwerb vor allem auch an eigenen und kollaborativen Projekten arbeiten können. Wir möchten Neulingen in diesem Feld an die Technologien heranführen und Erfahrenen mit konkreten Projektideen die notwendige Hardware zur Verfügung stellen können. Von der VR- oder AR-Brille bis hin zu 360-Grad-Kameras. Hierzu werden Sie die Möglichkeit haben, Equipment bei uns auszuleihen und gerne kommen wir auch mit dem Equipment direkt zu Ihnen und weisen Sie ein. Mit Beratungs- und Weiterbildungsangeboten möchten wir an den Bedarfen der Lehrenden anknüpfen und sie im Kompetenzerwerb unterstützen. Durch die Wirksamkeitsanalysen werden die Angebote fortwährend evaluiert und können gegebenenfalls angepasst werden. Zudem werden wir offen zugängliche Selbstlernmaterialien entwickeln, mit denen sich Lehrende auch zeit- und ortsunabhängig die notwendigen Grundlagen aneignen können. Und schließlich ist die Vernetzung und der kollegiale Austausch zwischen den Lehrenden der Verbundshochschulen und insbesondere auch die Förderung der internationalen Lehre ein besonderer Fokus des Labs. Was wir brauchen, sind Sie als Lehrende, die mit ihrer fachlichen und didaktischen Expertise und Erfahrung mit uns gemeinsam auf diese Entdeckungstour gehen, ob der Möglichkeiten, Chancen, aber auch der Grenzen von virtuellen Lehr-Lernsettings. Wir freuen uns, wenn Sie mit Ihren Anliegen, Fragen und ersten Ideen zu uns kommen und stehen Ihnen im Anschluss für Fragen und Austausch gerne zur Verfügung. Vielen Dank.
And now, and thank you, Armin. Now we want to switch to English. So the goal for the Lab for Innovative Teaching is to enable teaching staff to try out and implement new innovative technologies in teaching and support you on multiple levels. So the Lab for Innovative Teaching is the right place for you if you would like to know what virtual reality, augmented reality, 360 degrees technology, hybrid teaching and trend-setting technologies and teaching formats are all about. Would you like to understand how these technologies can enrich your teaching, and do you want to get to know best practice examples and receive inspiration for your own teaching? Do you want to analyze and discuss the possibilities and limitations of virtual teaching settings? And do you want to learn more about how to implement your own virtual and hybrid teaching and or learning concept? Then the Lab for Innovative Teaching is definitely the right place for you. Next slide, please. As I mentioned before, we support you on multiple levels, which you can see now. First, we want you to explore, develop, and share a new teaching experience with mobile virtual reality rental stations, stationary virtual reality workstations, and a full equipped seminar room for hybrid teaching settings. We offer a versatile training program and support you with consulting services, and we want to promote international teaching and overcome distance. However, we do not just want to overcome distance, we want to explore new methods of distance teaching with the use of new technologies like virtual reality. So join our working group for virtual and augmented reality. Get in touch with like-minded people from different German universities, sharing their experiences and learning from each other. And last but not least, with great importance set on sustainability, we are constantly evaluating the impact of these new technologies in teaching and share our knowledge in accessible and multiple translated digital self-learning materials. And that is what the Lab for Innovative Teaching is about. So thank you for your attention, and I hope to see you soon at the Lab for Innovative Teaching. Thank you.
Ja, hallo zusammen. Ich würde gerne mit einem Zitat des Kabarettisten Helmut Qualtinger einsteigen. Das lautet: Wer auf frischen Wind wartet, darf nicht verschnupft sein, wenn er kommt. Der frische Wind und der Schnupfen dazu kam für die Hochschullehre mit Corona und zwang sie zu einer schnellen Digitalisierung. Das Symptom davon nennen wir nun Emergency Remote Teaching. Die daraus entstandenen Erfahrungen, seien sie jetzt gut oder weniger gut, werden vom NIDIT-Team ausgewertet und in Qualifizierungsmaßnahmen überführt. Und genau hier setzt das Maßnahmenpaket 5, Best Practice und Webtransfer an. Welches Problem werden wir hier angehen? Die rein digitale Lehre in den Corona-Semestern bringt vielfältige Erfahrungen mit sich, die sich an den 3 mittelhessischen Hochschulen in unterschiedlichsten digitalen Formaten und Lehrcontent widerspiegeln. Es konnten individuelle Erfahrungen gesammelt werden und sowohl Lehrende als auch Studierende mussten gemeinsam erarbeiten, was Gelingensbedingungen digitaler Lehre sind. Die Erkenntnisse, Erfahrungen und guter Lehrcontent sind bisher noch dezentral über die Hochschulen verstreut und nicht frei für alle zugänglich. Das bedeutet, dass eben viel Wissen und Kompetenz bisher ungenutzt sind. Wie wollen wir dieses Problem jetzt angehen und lösen? Als qualitätsvoll evaluierter Content wie Screencasts, Tutorials, Erfahrungsberichte und mehr werden wir sichern, erweitern und für unsere Verbundpartner nachhaltig nutzbar machen. Neben dem Zusammentragen von gutem Content ist es unsere Aufgabe, neue, barrierearme digitale Lehr- und Lernmaterialien, wie zum Beispiel Erklärvideos, E-Learning-Module, Podcasts und so weiter zu erstellen und mehrsprachig unter offener Lizenz anzubieten. Wir arbeiten hier eng mit dem Lab for Innovative Teaching zusammen und die Medienproduktion wird sich dabei auch in besonderem Maße an den Bedarfen der Lehrenden ausrichten. Durch die Zusammenstellung und Erweiterung der digitalen Formate soll die Medien- und Digitalkompetenz der Verbundhochschulen und darüber hinaus nachhaltig gefestigt werden. Da einmal die nächste Folie. Schön. Was verstehen wir jetzt aber hier unter Best Practices? In einer breit angelegten Befragung der UMR gaben Studierende und auch Lehrende an, dass Individualisierung, zeitliche Flexibilität sowie persönlicher Kontakt und Feedback von Lehrenden als wichtige Gelingensbedingungen digitaler Lehre anzusehen sind. Diese identifizierten Best Practices werden von uns gebündelt und auf einer zentralen Plattform in Form von Open Educational Resources zur Verfügung gestellt. Was verstehen wir unter Open Educational Resources? Für OER halten wir uns an die Definition der UNESCO, die ich verkürzt zitieren möchte. Zitat Beginn. OER sind Bildungsmaterialien jeglicher Art und in jedem Medium, die unter einer offenen Lizenz veröffentlicht werden. Eine solche offene Lizenz ermöglicht den kostenlosen Zugang sowie die kostenlose Nutzung, Bearbeitung und Weiterverbreitung durch andere ohne oder mit geringfügigen Einschränkungen. Open Educational Resources können einzelne Materialien, aber auch komplette Kurse und Bücher umfassen. Zitat Ende. Um diese Materialien dann dauerhaft zur Verfügung zu stellen, ist eine Lernplattform im Stil einer Open Online University geplant, die als Ersatz zu den bestehenden Campus Management und Learning Management Systemen zur hochschulübergreifenden Nutzung bereitstehen soll. Und wer ist das Team hinter diesem Arbeitspaket? Das ist zum einen meine Kollegin Eva Dabrowski, die seit 2 Jahren im E-Learning-Bereich arbeitet und im Projekt das Lab mitorganisiert und Erfahrung vor allem in der Redaktion der Medienproduktion sammeln wird. Und ich, Roman Henke, ich arbeite seit inzwischen 6 Jahren im E-Learning-Bereich und in der Medienproduktion. Wir beide freuen uns sehr, einen Beitrag zu dem Projekt leisten zu dürfen. Einmal bitte auf die nächste Folie und ich würde gerne an die Eva weitergeben. Vielen Dank.
Thank you very much. My name is Eva Dabrowski and I'm part of the media production team. At last, I would like to sum up the most important points that have been mentioned by my colleague Roman. Our main focus will be on one side to extend already produced materials in the form of best practices, and on the other side to produce further barrier-free digital teaching and learning materials. All the e-learning materials such as videos, audio formats and more are planned to be open access for as many lecturers and students as possible. These materials will be available on a centrally organized learning platform that will be hosted by the free network partners. To identify new content, we will also work very closely, for example, with the Lab of Innovative Teaching and other actors at NIDIT. To start off our discussion, I wrote down a few questions on our whiteboard. So please feel free to comment and join us in the discussion on the board. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you all for these interesting pictures. We now received a lot of information about all our future tasks, and I'm sure you have some questions about these. So we have three different possibilities to ask these questions, or maybe wishes you have or suggestions. So you, of course, can just raise your hands and we're going to unmute you and you can ask your question here. Or you can also write the questions in the chat and we will read them. Or, which was just mentioned, we have a whiteboard. So you will find the link to the whiteboard in our chat and you can click on it and then you can discuss directly with one of the members of the team at the whiteboard. So you can write down your questions here or can read again the content of the different tasks and yeah, you can discuss also here. So we are now excited to hear questions or suggestions. In der letzten Folie hier, I'm gonna again switch to English. If there are any more questions, it was here the last minute they popped up, but you have the possibilities, three possibilities again to get more information. On the one hand, the whiteboard will be open all day, so if there are more questions or you want to inform about the task and the contents, you can still go to the whiteboard. But we have also the website, the NIDIT website, and you can send us an email to nidit@zfbk.uni-gießen.de, and if you want to keep in touch and stay informed about the further steps, you can just send us an email and you will receive a newsletter. So, and for the closing words, I want to hand over now to Professor Verena Dolle.
Okay, thank you very much for your participation, and I'm sorry for the technical inconvenience. I'm sorry that obviously some participants from Portugal were not able to participate here, so that means that we have to improve in the technical respect as well. Well, as you see, there is a challenge every day, every moment, but apart from that, I think it was a very fruitful meeting. Thank you very much for your elevator pitches who showed the the work packages, the program that we are going to tackle in the next 3 years. And you see, please stay in contact with us. Mareike Büß will stay in contact via email, which is a sort of traditional media, or via social media. And as I said before, please, I would like to meet you in persona, maybe in the next months, let's say in spring or summer, to see what the progress is like of NIDIT. And don't hesitate to make comments, to make questions, to enter in contact with the responsible persons here for the work packages. I'm glad that we made it today. This kick-off or online launch event, I'm very happy that we succeeded to do so. And I'm very curious about and looking forward to the results. I'm very positive about that we will have results. Well, thank you very much for your participation, and to the team, the NIDIT team in Marburg, at THM, at JLU, all the best and good luck, and thank you very much.